is iisa lang dati. Pero pinag-split on February 14, 1995. Tapos mas ma-provide ng isang province yung talagang kailangan nila. And tapuhan na habis nilagaw iti economics. Yung economics. So, ising to the other province of Par, may mga taglines. So, Kalinga has 3 taglines, which is the peacocks of the Lord because of their ornaments, yung mga tassel nila sa ulo, mga kulay ng mga damit nila. And Babel of the Philippines, and the land and the tribe of grain. First, let's talk about the history of Kalinga. Kalinga comes from the Bawatan Kalinga, which means any fighter or headhunter in the Libanag and Gadang language. Since kilala naman natin yung mga Kalinga na talagang harsh or grabe na pumatay yung tao kasi dati-dati nadalang iti mga baso kanya doon talaga pumunod na iti-ulungan. Isa mga tawag na headhunter. The geography and the Kalinga is one of the important provinces of the Cordillera Administrative Region, and it is a landlocked province bounded by the east, and bounded in the east by the Cagayan Valley, and the Isabela Plains in the west by. So sa east, bounded na Cagayan Valley and the Isabela sa east. So kapag sa west is the Abra province, and in the north is the Ohio, and in the south is the Mountain province. Next, the province has a rough terrain and mountainous topography, cut through by the Tigo River coming from Mount Vita and emptying into Cagayan River. So if you go to the Kalinga, you will expect na hindi plain or patag yung mga daanan or yung mga pupuntahan niya. Same with Apayao. So, additional ulit, yung Chico River, binansagan nila na river of life kasi dito sila kumukuha ng mga pang-araw-araw or hindi naman mga pang-araw-araw. Most of their needs like water, pag-ornament, their aquatic resources. So, next, the unique cultural and practices discussed by Ms. Marisha.
Unique cultural practices. What are their distinctive customs, traditions, and rituals? So, when we say distinctive customs, it is a custom that is easily to recognize because it is different with other customs or cultures. So, ito yung mga different customs and traditions, and rituals ng Kalinga. Kalinga culture is known for its intricate body art and traditional clothing. So, yung Kalinga, kaya siya tinawag na peacock of the North kasi sa Kalinga, nakilala sila sa kanilang intricate traditional clothing. Pag sinabi natin intricate, complicated or very detailed na designs. Next. Tattooing. The people of Kalinga are famous for their intricate tattoos, which are considered a sign of bravery and status. These tattoos are often found on the arms, legs, chest, and face, and are believed to have magical powers that are protect the wearer. So, Kalinga is also known as land of rain. So, dito sa Kalinga, yung tattooing or kapag yung isang tao meron silang tattoo, nare-recognize sila as matapang. Tapos, itong mga tattoo na to is makikita natin sila sa arms, legs, chest, and face ng bamboo stick. The designs are intricate and unique to each individual and are seen as a symbol of beauty, courage, and strength. So, yung traditional tattoo sa Kalinga, ang tawag doon is batok. Ang ginagamit, unlike ngayon, modern, gumagamit tayo yung, alam niyo yung karayom na hindi ko magente. Dito sa Kalinga, yung traditional tattooing nila, gumagamit sila ng bamboo na mayroong init. So, naniniwala, gaya ko sabi ko kanina, kapag yung babae daw mayroon tattoo, nagiging symbol daw to ng kagandahan, courage, and strength. Kaliwanag. Next, Maria Ogay. Her real name, also known as Apu Wangkod, is 107 years of age. Is a tattoo artist from the village of Buskalan within Himalayas, Kalinga province. She is considered as the last and oldest Mambabatok and legendary due to her mastery of the ancient art of Mambabatok and her role as the last living Kalinga tattoo master. So, yung kilala niyo si Apu Wangkod, di ba? Siya yung pinaka-famous na Mambabatok. So, dito natin siya matatagpuan sa Kalinga. So, kilala siya bilang oldest Mambabatok kasi because she is 107 years old. So, dito sa Kalinga, si Maria Ogay or Apu Wangkod, siya na lang yung nakakaalam kung paano ginagawa yung traditional tattooing or batok. Clothing. This will be discussed by Mr. Adrian.
So, clothing. The traditional clothing of the Kalinga people reflects the history, beliefs, and the way of life. So, ang traditional clothing nila ay sinisimbolo ng kanilang mga paniniwala at kung paano sila mamuhay ng pangangalaman ng pangangailangan. So, clothing for women. The traditional clothing of Kalinga women is characterized by its bright color and intricate design. So, yung Kalinga women clothing is yung kulay niya matingkad at may mga iba't ibang design at mga pattern. Women wear a long sleeve blouse called regado, which is often embroidered with intricate design and pattern. The blouse is worn over skirt called retapis, which is also brightly colored and adorned with embroidery or beadwork. Women also wear a headscarf called a sangot, which is often decorated with beads or tassels, as you can see in the photo in the baby. So, their headpiece is called this, and their earrings called ogisak, and their yung parang petas nila na tinatawag na residation or joke. And yung bago naman nila or blouse, tinatawag na silog ang angga. And yung dulo naman ng kanilang blouse ay tinatawag na pilakid or crossband. And yung mga palamutin naman sa kanilang kamay ay tinatawag na kilari or wristband. And yung skirt naman nila ay tinatawag na kain.
Na?
So, clothing for men. The traditional clothing of Kalinga men include the bahag, the long clothes made from woven fabric or animal hide, and a turban or headscarf. So, as you can see on the photo, yung headscarf nila ay mayroong mga colors and design. The belt is called white wings and body, and it's worn over a plain white undershirt. The wings are often made from hand woven cotton or a belt cloth or the locally produced. So, next, unique cultural practices. So, Kalinga people of the Philippines have many traditions and rituals, including Kontag or Kontid. A ritual performed on a child to protect them from harm. So, ginagawa ito upang maprotektahan ang mga bata sa anumang makakasakit sa kanila o any accident. Polias, so celebrated after a one-year mourning period. So, sinasagawa naman ito sa death anniversary ng isang namatay sa kanila. So, dandan nam or siyang nam. A practice where two groups exchange blood to pay tribute to the deceased. So, ginagawa ito ng mga dalawang tribo upang mag-alay ng kanilang respeto sa mga patay. Butchering an animal. So, the number of animals butchered depends on the stature of the deceased. So, number of animals butchered is depend on yung estado ng namatay. So, budong. Budong is a Kalinga term roughly translated to a peace pact when it is undertaken under two main conditions for events. For Gayem, or when two people are in a relation and tribal conflict, when there is an existing problem or conflict between tribes or sub-tribes. So, ginagawa ang budong upang ma-prevent ang siduan ng dalawang tribo at upang maging mapayapa at may unity ang kanilang komunidad. Thank you, and for the next reporter, please.
These artistic creations are testament to centuries of traditions and an indomitable spirit rooted in the indigenous heritage of the Kalinga people. These crafts represent a deep connection to the land and its history. So, yung mga traditional arts and crafts ng mga Kalinga people, nakaukit doon yung hindi lang siya for souvenirs, hindi lang siya for gagamitin nila, but nandito yung story ng Kalinga and yung history nila. So, we have the textiles. In Kalinga, weaving is not merely a craft, it is a way of life. The region is famous for its vibrant textiles, a hand-woven fabric made from abaca fiber. So, abaca fiber, nanggagaling ito sa banana. So, we know naman na Kalinga is rich in, alam naman natin yung way of living nila na agricultural. So, textile, the intricate patterns and Kalinga textiles reflect the rich tapestry of region's cultural heritage. These traditional clothing, such as tapis, yung sinabi kanina ni Maris na ginagamit ng babae to wrap around their skirts and bahag for men's loincloths. Contemporary fashions, accessories like bags, scarves, Kalinga Textile continue to captivate both locals and tourists alike. So, hindi lang siya for clothes, but gumagawa din sila ng bags and scarves. Yung ginagawa nila is to parang catchy sa mga locals and also the tourists na pupunta sa kanila. Next, the wood carvings. The skilled art of wood carving has been passed down through generations in Kalinga. The region's artisans transform blocks of hardwood into breathtaking masterpieces that showcase intricate detailing and symbolism. So, from bululs, the bululs are ancestral rice gods. From bululs to ceremonial tasks and household items, Kalinga wood carvings are reference to regions' reverence for nature, ancestral spirits, and cultural traditions. So, ang wood carving sa kanila, they using it for yung mga woods na yung mga woods is ginagamit nila for their gods and sa mga household items nila like tables, chairs, etc. So next we have the basket tree. Basket tree is another remarkable craft that has thrived in Kalinga for centuries. Skilled weavers transform rattan bamboo and other natural fibers into sturdy baskets of various shapes and sizes. These baskets serve multiple purposes for carrying agricultural produce and fishing nets to storing household items. To craftsmanship involves in Kalinga basketry lies not only in the weaving but also the intricate patterns and design that adorn the finished product. So ang basketry, ginagamit ito para parang sa household items din like vases and also for their livelihood, yung ginagawa nila yung bamboo para maging net. So, very well on the data for the
Next is the religious system. So the Kalinga people of the Philippines have a religious system that influences supremely many spirits, deities, and their Bait is the Kalinga culture that governs the Kalinga's relationship with his kinsmen and other tribesmen. It permits the coverage of ethical standards to be observed by the Kalingas in times of peace and war. So yung bait is continuing indigenous values nila na wherein it refers to self-respect na kailangan lang i-treat yung other people or kailangan meron silang respect sa isa't isa. Which in-observe ito during the Kalingas in times of peace and war. So next is the challenges and threats.
Challenges and threats. What are the main challenges major challenges?
Dayang si kamamitin din. Damdama ito na lang.
Yes, the Kalinga people experiencing is their struggle against love. So bakit nga ba daw kung pinangaming challenge sa mga Kalinga people? The people of Kalinga are facing a huge threat with the impending implementation of 15 hydropower projects which were recently awarded to 9 companies directly or indirectly owned by big capitalists at least. Three of these can be considered as mega-dam projects which will require reservoirs with a minimum depth of 15 meters capable of containing 3 million cubic meters of water. So, yung mga private companies is planning to magtayo ng mga hydropower block sa kanila. Kaya yung mga lupa ng mga Manila people is na-allow din mawagan ng mga trabaho. Kalinga minorities in particular will remain dependent on grabbing of their ancestral lands by private companies. These lands are the primary source of their livelihood and crucial to their culture and history. Even if they will not be immediately displaced, they will eventually lose ownership over the land as it will under the control, operation and infrastructure of private companies. This project will change the residents' way of life. They will no longer be able to access work in the area. So, yung mga private companies is sinasakop yung mga kalupaan ng mga Kalinga people. And kahit na hindi sila pinapaalis, kung mawawala sila ng mga lupa dahil sa mga hydropower dams, is magiging problema sa kanila, malaking pagsubok sa kanila dahil mawawala sila ng mga bangkabuhayan kasama na doon ng mga na-discuss din tayo sa business na kanila na Pico Rivers. Ngayon, Pico Rivers yun is yung tinatawag nilang River of Life dahil doon sila kumuha ng mga bangkabuhayan, doon din sila kumuha ng mga minuming tubig, doon sila kumuha ng mga pagkain sa projects will result in the exercise of the Kalinga people. This hydropower will accelerate the people's partnership to ensure social progress for two capitalists. The Kalingas continues to unite and struggle in the face of attacks, deception, and bribery employed by the companies along with the armed state agencies and labor is still for our staff. So kahit yung pagsubok na hinaharap ng mga Kalinga people is patuloy pa rin silang lumalaban at they are still fighting back and with the saving of that from which means you will never surrender.